Today, I'll be grading the top 10 of the 2017 NHL entry draft. As usual, the highest grade is A+, and the lowest is F-, so let's go. Nico Hischier was the first overall pick, and he gets a B. Hischier is a very good two-way center, and is actually a Selke Trophy finalist this season. Hischier has scored 109 goals and 177 assists, for a career total so far of 286 points in 381 games. This season, he was very good, almost being a point per game, with 31 goals and 49 assists for 80 points in 81 games. Hischier is a very good player, but the only reason why he doesn't have a higher grade is because there were better players available. The second overall pick was Nolan Patrick, and he gets the lowest grade in the series so far, with an F. In his career, he has a total of 77 points with 32 goals and 45 assists in 222 NHL games. Last season, he only had 2 goals and 5 assists in 25 games. That's not the only reason why he gets an F. The main reason is because he may already be forced to retire. Patrick has unfortunately suffered traumatic head injuries, including many concussions. There doesn't seem to be any progress with his injury, and he very may well have already played his last ever NHL game. At the number 3 selection, we have Miro Heiskanen, who gets an A-. Heiskanen is one of the NHL's best defensive defensemen, but is also good offensively with 44 goals and 160 assists in his career throughout 354 games. Heiskanen carries the puck very effectively, is a good outlet passer, and is almost a point per game this season with 73 points in 79 games. Cale Makar was the 4th overall pick, and he obviously gets the highest grade possible, which is an A+. Makar is definitely the best defenseman in the entire NHL, and has won the Calder, the Norris, the Stanley Cup, and the Conn Smythe, and he's only 24 years old. Makar is over a point per game in his career, with 246 points in 238 games, and last season put up 86 points in 77 games, which is insane for defensemen. Even the great one, Wayne Gretzky, compared Cale Makar to the greatest defenseman of all time, Bobby Orr. By the time Makar retires, I believe he'll be a top 5 defenseman of all time, top 3 greatest offensive defenseman ever. 5th overall pick was Elias Pettersson, he gets an A. Pettersson is very close to being a point per game in his career, with 323 points in 325 games. This season, he was one of 11 100-point scorers, and this season was actually his first time being a point per game in his career. Pettersson is an amazing playmaker and also a great shooter. Pettersson also won the 2019 Calder Trophy for the best rookie of the season. Cody Glass was the 6th pick, and for me, he gets a D. This season, Glass scored a career high of 14 goals and 21 assists for 35 points in 72 games. He spent some time in the AHL with 88 games there. In his career so far, he has 23 goals and 35 assists in 146 games. Glass is a skilled playmaker with good passing, but knee surgery has slowed down his development. Glass still has pretty good top 6 potential, but so far it hasn't really worked out. The 7th pick was Elias Anderson, who gets a D-. Anderson has spent the majority of his professional career in the AHL and is doing pretty well. However, he's not been able to translate that into the NHL. In his 110-game NHL career so far, he has 7 goals and 10 assists for only 17 total points. He's also negative 32 in his career and has only played 1 game this season. There's still time for him to potentially turn to something, but so far it's not looking too good. Mittelstadt was the 8th overall pick, and he gets a C. Mittelstadt is a solid playmaker with good vision of the game. He has scored 48 goals and 91 assists for 139 points in 277 games in his NHL career so far. This season was definitely his best season when he had 15 goals and 44 assists in a full 82 games. This season, Mittelstadt established himself as a full-time NHLer, but he is minus 55 in his career, which isn't great. 9th pick was Michael Rasmussen, who gets a C-. Rasmussen is one of the biggest players in the entire NHL at 6'6", 211 pounds, and plays pretty physical. He has spent most of his career in the NHL, but has also spent time in the AHL and even some in Austria. Rasmussen has not been able to produce much in the NHL so far, with 36 goals and 50 assists for 86 points in 238 career NHL games. He's also negative 36, which isn't great for a two-way player. Last but not least, we have the 10th overall pick, Owen Tippett, who gets a C. After making his NHL debut, he went back to the OHL where he's dominant with 75 points in 51 games in his return. He's also spent some time in the AHL and was pretty good there. In the NHL, he has 89 points in 192 games with 45 goals. Tippett has a good shot and will grow into a pretty solid sniper. And that'll do it for this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed. The next video in this series will be grading the 2016 draft, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. And also make sure to go check out the playlist where I grade all the NHL drafts. And yeah, that's the new video. I'll see you guys next time.